Our podcast is a part of the World Podcast Network, now with over 1,000 podcasts. Visit the World Podcast Network at worldpodcast.network to listen to podcasts in over 12 genres. Come vote our podcast episodes up and help us rise on the leaderboard. If you have a podcast of your own, you can join for free. Welcome to Reality Tea Times 2, the podcast where we discuss all the trash reality TV we love to hate. I am Tanika, and today we are going to be discussing 90 Day HEA. So, I do have a little bit of announcement of how we're going to be covering HEA this particular episode anyways, and we'll get to that in a minute. Before we do, I do have some hot goss, and y'all, I got some fun hot goss, and I'm ready to talk about it. Oh, so excited. So, I think the question has been, what the fuck is coming next after HEA? Well, y'all, that is B90. Yay! And we have all new couples, so it's going to be great. So, with that in mind, there is a trailer for the B90. I haven't seen it yet, but it is there. And we have 8 new couples on this. We're going to be traveling to destinations such as Nigeria, baby, Philippines, Ghana. That's new. I'm excited for Ghana. Poland, Brazil. Have we been to Poland before? That might mean too. Brazil, Jordan, South Africa, and Croatia. We have 3 countries in Africa. I mean, that's kind of cool to me. And that's cool to me. I think that's really cool to have 3 African countries in one season because, I mean, I love me an African. So that's what's going to be happening. So we are going to be meeting our couples. Again, I have photos of everybody. I will post this to our socials once the episode has come out. So we have Tiger Lily, who is 41. I kind of love her name. She's from Texas. And we have Adnan, who is 23, and he is from Jordan. Very young. So a little bit about them. Tiger Lily is a glamorous 41-year-old mother of 2 with a taste for the finer things in life. After leaving a controlling 10-year marriage, she vowed to never marry again until she met Adnan a 22-year-old model from Jordan on social media. Despite their age gap, their relationship has progressed quickly, and after only 4 months of talking, Tiger Lily plans to marry Adnan on the day she arrives in Jordan. Yikes. While her friends are telling her to wait and warning her that Adnan's Muslim faith could mean there are huge cultural differences, she hasn't considered. Tiger Lily is ready to risk it all for love. Will this finally be the happily ever after she's looking for? No. Moving on. We have Rain, 38, from New Mexico, and Chidi, I think it's how you say his name, 34, from Nigeria. Rain is a chicken farmer from New Mexico. Having never been lucky in love, she has long craved intimacy and physical affection, and she thinks she may have finally found it in Chidi, a man from Nigeria with whom she has been talking online for the past 5 years. Not long after their relationship started to blossom, Rain sent Chidi sexy selfies and was baffled when he wasn't responding to them. Oh, until she found out he was blind. Oh, shit. Rain loves the fact that Chidi is blind because it eases her insecurities about her looks, for fuck's sakes. No. No. Oh, no. I'm reading this along with you guys. I haven't read this before yet. So, Rain's family and friends have concerns that she isn't ready for the realities of being with a blind person and that her unconventional beliefs will not mesh with Chidi's Christianity, but Rain is sure she and Chidi are meant to be together. After 5 years, Rain knows this trip is high stakes for them both and is looking for a sense of commitment from Chidi and a willingness to move to the US. Next, we have Lauren, 33, from Nevada, and Faith, 31, from the Philippines. Lauren, who is a man, is a jack of all trades, eking out a living in Las Vegas, whatever. Along his journey of self-discovery, he met Faith, who is transgender from the Philippines, on a dating site, and they fell in love. Unbeknownst to Faith, Lauren hopes that his trip to meet her will be a permanent move to the Philippines. Oh, where he feels he can be more financially stable. Okay. Lauren plans to devote every aspect of his life to make Faith happy and is eager to finally meet her in person, but he has not been completely honest about his financial situation nor his opinion on monogamy. I guess he doesn't like that. Faith is excited but nervous about opening herself up to Lauren because she's never had a boyfriend before. With so much at stake, including a potential move and proposal, this trip has a lot riding on it for the couple. Let's move on to the next. We have Niles, 28, from Alabama, and Matilda, 23, from Ghana. Niles and Matilda met online 2 years ago. What started as a pen pal turned into a love affair once Niles realized Matilda had all the amazing qualities he wanted in a partner. Niles has found some difficulty in romantic relationships in the past. Certain of his love for Matilda, Niles proposed to Matilda over the phone. But while Matilda believes they are going to get married on this upcoming first visit, is actively planning the wedding, Niles wants to wait but is afraid to tell Matilda, fearing her reaction. Well, if you told her sooner, it might have gone better. But anyways. Joe, 34, from Florida, and Magda, 23, from Poland. Joe is a charming and hardworking 34-year-old Italian Jersey boy who has fallen for Magda, a 23-year-old volleyball player from Poland. Magda is the first girl Joey deleted all his dating apps for, and she's all in for him, even recently quitting her job to prepare for her anticipated move to the U.S. Magda is ready to start making babies as soon as possible, but as much as he's into her, Joe isn't sure he's ready for a family with a woman he hasn't even met in person yet, and is worried this is all moving a little too fast. I would think so. Brian, 52, from Illinois, and Ingrid, 33, from Brazil. Brian is a quadriplegic, and despite the various challenges of being in a wheelchair, he leads an independent and active lifestyle. This is new. And has traveled the world playing and coaching wheelchair rugby. While in Brazil, he fell in love with the culture and found that Brazilian women are more accepting of his disability. After several failed relationships, he met Ingrid on a dating site almost 2 years ago, but they never had the opportunity to meet in person until now. Brian truly believes that this time is different and that Ingrid could be the one, but he's nervous when she learns the truth about his past. Will she be able to handle it? Then we have I think it's Vea, who's 27, from Florida, and Sunny, 26, from South Africa. They've fallen in love and are both anticipating a proposal on this trip, but they have trust issues, and Sunny is especially uncomfortable with Vea's ongoing friendship with her ex. They hope the fighting will subside when they meet in person, but unbeknownst to Sunny, Vea, an anxious traveler, has arranged for her ex-boyfriend to accompany her to South Africa to meet Sunny so that she doesn't have to travel alone. No. Listen, like I've said before, I am with a South African man. If I told my South African boyfriend that I'm going to travel with my ex, he would be livid. Jesus Christ. Oh no, man. She doesn't know. There's no one else in your life that you could have asked to go with you. No one else. It had to be your ex. Jeez. Okay, let's continue. Will the trip seal the deal for the relationship, or will her decision bring her ex-boyfriend ruin everything? I go for that. Next, we have Vanja, 41, Florida, and I think it's Bozo, because there's like an accent on the Z, who's 38, from Croatia. Vanja is a vibrant 41-year-old Bosnian refugee turned Floridian who's fallen in love for Bozo, there we go, Croatian basketball player she matched with on dating app while on a solo trip in Europe. They didn't get to meet up at the time, but they've kept in touch, and now Vanja is completely smitten and going to Croatia to meet him in person for the first time. Vanja is hoping for a ring, but friends and family have their concerns that she and Bozio, sorry, I'm going to be screwing up his name until I know how to say it, are not on the same page, and that Vanja is heading to Croatia to get her heart broken. So, 90 Day Fiancé Before the 90 Days Season 7 premieres September 1st at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm really excited. Y'all, I'm so excited. Okay, so we did just spend 10 minutes on Hot Goss, so we'll end it there until the next episode. But let's just kind of go through what to expect with the episode, this particular episode. So because we kind of talk about Ed and Liz at the very beginning, once we actually get into the tell-all, I am actually not going to be talking about them full on. I'm probably only going to be talking about snippets of things from them, which is kind of from other people. It's not going to be talking about the actual situation, their storyline. I'm not going to be doing that. I avoid any alone time between Ed and Liz like they did in the house. I don't care. So I didn't talk about that as well. And I also avoided talking about Angela and Michael as well because I'm sorry, I don't give a shit what he's done or not done or what the fuck. Her attitude is absolutely atrocious. And this is around the time that he quote unquote goes missing. So I'm just not talking about it. This is a really sensitive thing for me. I did talk about like how this made me feel, this whole situation with Michael and Angela when he quote unquote went missing and everything that followed. Because again, I am a person who, sorry, I had to take a quick pause there. But yes, I have talked about how Angela does trigger me. So I am not talking about them as much as I possibly can. We'll see how it goes when we have their storyline, because with the investigator, I am very curious to see how everything kind of turned out and what maybe pushed her further into her bullshit. So we'll see, but I really don't know if I can talk about it. Just the way she treated him like absolute shit through this. I don't know how she thinks that makes her look any better, but she completely treated him like shit. Like he literally is the shit under her shoe. It's ridiculous. So I will not be talking about them as much as I possibly can either, throughout this. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at with this episode. So with that being said, we'll probably have this episode going to be fairly short because of that. So that's kind of where we're at. But let's get into the reason that we are here. So HEA Season 8, Episode 20, Tell All Part 1 of 5. So let's get into it. So Patrick and Thais are the first ones at the house, and Patrick would like for Jasmine and Gino to do any type of toe sucking in the bedroom. Just leave it there. Sir, there's no toe sucking. There's no sucking of dicks either. There's no fucking. There's no nothing. Don't have to worry about that. So let's continue. Hopefully Ed doesn't call me a bitch. He probably will because Ed can't help himself. I'll talk about him when he gets to the house. For fuck's sakes. I'll get to him. Not too much, but that really irked me. So we'll get to that. But they get there and they get the biggest room. So there you go. Next, we got Gino and Jasmine. And she's like, look at the freaking snow. My girl can't get away from the fucking snow. But Jasmine is not at all excited to even be here. She doesn't want to see anybody from the season. She's not about it. Jasmine also doesn't feel comfortable with Ed in the house. She does not like him. She is us. We are her in this moment because I would refuse to be anywhere near Big Pred. Anywhere near him. So she does not like him. Jasmine loves the house when she sees the house. She's like, if he could buy me a house like this, all of our marriage problems would go away. No, it wouldn't. You're just going to move with the marriage problems into this big fucking house. So Jasmine is also wearing her Miss Latina International sash because why the fuck not? And Patrick's like, why? Like, he's like, it feels like a kid who wins like an award or something, and they kind of just like show it to everybody. No, like no. It is a little dumb. I don't know why she wore the sash, but anyways. And he also called it a stash, not a sash. But anyways. Jasmine wanted the biggest room because, hello, I hate my husband. So why can't we who hate our husbands have the bigger room because we can get away from them? You guys are good. You can be in a smaller room. But anyways, next we have Kobe and Emily. She is currently 8 months pregnant and she's definitely feeling it, I imagine, because my God. She says, maybe Jasmine can give me a foot rub because you don't. Listen, my guy, if you are going to impregnate your wife constantly, the least you could do is rub her feet. My man's completely off the hook on that because I have ticklish feet, but you know what I mean? Anyway, but she's like, she sucks Gino's toes, so why can't she rub my feet? Oh, Lord. Back at the house, Jasmine is like, this room is great. I like this room. This room is great. Gina, what about you? Do you like any other rooms in the house? Any other room than this one? But Gino likes this room. Gino really likes this room. He wants this room. But Jasmine doesn't want him sleeping in the room with her. And here's why. She does not allow him to sleep in the bed with her because if you're not going to fuck me, there's no reason for you to be in the bed with me. Okay. I do like the concept of that. I do. However, he never will fuck you if he's not in the room with you. You know what I mean? Like, there could be moments where you guys are like in the bed together and he could be like cuddling you up and like, you could be like pressing your ass against him and it's one thing leads to another and voila, dick and vagina. You know what I mean? That's what I do. If me and my man are in the bed and I'm ready for some, I mean, I don't have to fight him. Like, literally, we could be arguing with each other. Trust me, there's no issues there. I don't need to be like, we don't have to be like, we need to be on good terms with each other and he needs to stop like, or she needs to stop like yelling at me or whatever for me to have sex with her. No. That's not my man. But that's easy. Come on. But on the other hand, I do understand where she's coming from here. I just also don't understand where she's coming from here. But anyways, it just doesn't make sense. Anyways, but he's like, no, like you're forcing me to have sex with you. She's like, no, not. I'm just establishing my boundaries. But listen, I'm sorry, but a husband saying words like you're forcing, like it's like you're forcing me to have sex with you. In what fucking planet? First of all, on the one hand, not to say that men can't be forced into having sex. I'm not saying that. Of course they can. But she's literally telling you you're not allowed in my bed. So clearly she's not forcing you to have sex with her. On the other hand, I've never known a man to feel forced into having sex with his partner who he loves and is attracted to and wants to probably bang every minute of every day. Right? Like, I just don't know that personally. Like, I literally, me and my partner will have sex. And then like 2 twos, he's ready for more. Like, I don't mean like, how the fuck? But he is. So I don't personally understand that. But when you're in a relationship with somebody, like, don't you want to have sex with her? Like, how could, she has a big ass and the big boobs. And it's just like, how do you not want to fuck her? How do you not want to fuck her? Anyways, whatever. So Emily and Kobe are here. They show up at the house. They're still outside. And there's another car coming. There's another car following behind them. Who could it be but Ashley, Literalmente, and Manuel? And Manuel's like, oh, baby, I'm having a baby too. He's like batting because as we know, he is thick as shit. Yep, he's eating, Ashley says. Okay. So Ashley says, me and Manuel, we're okay right now. They will maybe have their blowouts or whatever, but they somehow find a way to get back to each other. I'll tell you how they find their way back to each other. They're doing what Gino and Jasmine should be doing. That's how they get back to each other. Okay. Emily sits down and immediately, Jasmine is there and so is Thais, just rubbing her legs. And she's like, oh, see, I told you they're going to take care of me because yeah, she's like, we understand what you're going through. Like, she's like, the veins are starting to pop out of her leg. Her feet are probably swollen. Like, I don't recall if we've ever seen Emily pregnant on the show before. Like, I think when she had Scarlett, I believe during the tell she already had Scarlett. We've never seen her actually pregnant, and she looks so uncomfortable. Like, oh, Jesus. Bless her heart. So Kobe, she's like, Kobe, get your wallet out because like they're doing everything for me. Like, tip these people. But apparently Kobe had told her before they got there that maybe she should stay back with the kids because she was so pregnant. But she's like, fuck that shit. No, I'm not staying back. But later, like, I do question, I mean, I don't know, but later, but literally hear her say, I need to get my compression socks. All right. So Patrick, so basically the guys are kind of talking, right? And Patrick is like, listen, if I hear that I can have sex, I'm like, hell yeah. He's like, let's do it. But Gino's like, yeah, see, like, not me. Like, we have so many issues. And I mean, I never had that issue in my past relationship with sex, but it's just too much yelling. Motherfucker, I literally said before, maybe, just maybe, she is irritable because she's horny. You be amazed. Listen, if my boyfriend literally says to me, I'm not gonna fuck you because you're always yelling at me and like I need things to be better before I fuck you again, it will never be better again. It will never be better again. We're done. We're doomed. Because I can be one irritable bitch when I'm horny. And horny to the point where you're denying me or you're making me like you're not putting me first. Like I want to have sex and you're not around. And you're not around when you say you're going to be around. Trust me, we're going to have problems. So maybe if you fuck her, it could help. Like, God, I don't understand. This guy's an idiot. Anyway, then we see Liz. She shows up and of course she's alone. I don't know why everyone was surprised that she was alone. They broke up. She's alone, y'all. Well, she's alone in terms of Ed. And they were like, we like you. We don't like him. We like you. And they're like, oh, you look so good. And she's like, yeah, I lost like 230 pounds. Boom. So yeah, this is where we get Emily's compression socks. And I think she says like if Ed does anything that she doesn't like, she's gonna basically chuck her shoe at him when he walks in the door. She wants to chuck her shoe at him when he walks through the door. Like she's there. Then this is where Ed shows up. And he goes into the house. Everyone's kind of in like the kitchen area. And he goes into the house. And the first fucking thing this guy literally says is, what the hell is going on here? No, Ed, how about hi, everybody? How's everybody doing? Say hi to the ones you know and introduce yourself to the ones you don't know. That's what human does. I said, this little leprechaun, sorry, I'm not sorry, literally says, what the hell is going on in here? Fuck you, Ed. Like, your voice, your face, fuck you, please. Fuck you. Anyways, he does go around and says hi to everybody. And when he gets to Jasmine, this is fucking amazing. Jasmine literally said, I don't like hugging. She's like, I don't like hugging. And thank you. No, thank you. And they kind of like handshake, which is fine. And we think, okay, we'll leave it there. But then Patrick, not reading the fucking room, literally just says, well, she hugged me. And she looks at Patrick like, shut up, shut up. Patrick, read the room. He's must have been those steroids, man. They really fucked his brain up. Jeez. Anyway, so when he does, I didn't want to kind of mention this. When he does go to Liz and he says hi to her, he kind of cries and gets really emotional. Which, I'm with them. I don't buy it. I think it's all, this man can cry a drop of a hat. We've seen him do it. I'm sorry, no. But Ashley and I think it was Emily are like, why did he cry? Like, why the fuck did you cry for? Ooh. But they do believe that the tears are fake, which I also agree. Patrick thinks that, he might be just trying to get laid. That is not going to happen. Not with her. Not ever. And they did also question this because when he starts crying, Liz does wipe his tears away. And I remember thinking in the moment when she did this, I'm like, why the fuck would you do that? I would not be wiping the tears off of my ex's face. I just wouldn't. No. I won't let you drip, drip, motherfucker. No. No way. And she does that. And they question, like, why did she do that? I don't know why she did that. That was a choice. Then Lauren and Alexi show up. I guess Ed doesn't like them because of Liz's reaction when they show up. I don't understand why you don't like them, but anyways. Then Rob and Sophie together show up at the house. She does want him to go in first because she's anxious, which, whatever. He goes in the house. He's by himself, obviously. And they're all like, oh, where's Sophie? And he's like, oh, I think she'll be here in a minute. But when Sophie does get in there, she does kind of tell us that they have been hanging out and they haven't really established if they're in the point of trying again. But the $1,000,000 question is, are you all having sex? The answer is no, they are not having sex. He literally says like things are not how he'd want them to be. So I think he would love to have sex with Sophie. Maybe she's the one that's kind of holding back, which is fine. She doesn't have to have sex with him if they're not established or not, they're married, sure, but they're not in the emotional sense, they're not together. So yeah, whatever. Then we're basically just kind of waiting for Angela and Michael, but they are not going to be showing up tonight because they're going to be staying back at the hotel. It is mentioned in the show what kind of happened. I'm probably not mentioning it much more than what I'm saying right now. Something happened. We don't know exactly what that was that happened. Angela is basically just trying to isolate Michael from the rest of the cast members, which this is all this is about. I'll kind of mention it again here too, because I don't want to mention it much more past this. When they do get the next day, when they're at the tell-all and they're in the green room, Michael goes to the green room first. And once Angela gets there, she's like, why are you here? Why are you here? You need to be in my sight at all times. So she's treating him like a child. She's literally trying to isolate. She's abusing him. It's abuse. This is abuse. So that's about it I'm going to say about it, but she's not going to be at the house. And that's basically it. They're going to be going to bed because we're not going to wait up for her anymore. So it's the day of the tell-all. Of course, Jasmine and Gino got into another fight because of changing clothes or something. Like they argued about, so I don't fucking know anymore. I think they argue if the sky is blue, and he calls her a bitch. Okay. Bald asshole. So they are still arguing, and we just kind of see Emily and Kobe just kind of like peeking through like the curtain and being like, what's going on? What's going on? What I did love here, kind of when Angela does when they do see Michael, they've clocked her bullshit, and I'm so here for it. The main reason I mean, I don't know who's going to really confront Angela on her bullshit, because I think everyone's terrified of her. So, because you kind of will be like, this is my marriage, mind your business. You've put your business out there, Angela. There's no longer mind your business when it comes to your public fucking marriage, But anyways, so at least there's that. I will talk about Michael coming into the green room because it's just him. So Michael comes to the green room. He basically kind of says that, there are some issues. He doesn't want to talk about it. It's kind of between the two of them. So he has kind of say that, but he looks good. He looks fine, physically speaking. So at least there's that. The one thing that I'll say here, just because I love that we're kind of getting a taste of maybe who the person will be who will stand up to Angela, and that's Rob. Because when Angela kind of says, like, I don't want him talking, making him look like he's the good guy, making me look like I'm the bad guy and all this, like, I don't want him doing any of that. And Rob says, you should let him talk. And then that way we can see maybe what you're saying. But that's, of course, not going to work out because there is nothing wrong with Michael. Michael isn't doing anything egregious that would warrant this reaction from Angela. So that will never work. And we can, I think, all agree on that. So they haven't apparently had sex in 2 months. So that's interesting. I'm only mentioning this because this was mentioned. I did mention this from Michael when he was on, I think it was ET. So I mentioned it here because he did mention it there as well. So that's why I'm mentioning it. So Angela does confirm that they have not had sex in 2 months. And of course, she accuses him of cheating, and that's why. And apparently the girl he cheated on her with, quote unquote, when he was still back in Nigeria, lives in Jersey. And she's like, your bitch is here in Jersey. Maybe you should go see her. I'm like, Angela, shut up. Okay. So that's all I'm mentioning about that for now. Now we're at the part where the tell-all is basically starting. Sean looks great as always. And she is like, oh my God, Michael, you're here. Because We've only ever seen him on a screen. You're actually real. There you go. So we do find out here, so we can kind of wrap this half up because I'm going to probably take a break in a minute. We do find out here that Nicole and Mahmoud are actually, I'm going to go through Ed too, Ed and Liz, and then I'll take a break. So yeah, Nicole and Mahmoud are not here. Bad bitch. Bad to both of you. I don't know where he is. I hope he's fine, wherever the fuck he is. I mean, I know he's probably not done some great things, but I hope he's fine wherever he is. I hope she's fine wherever she is. I never want to see either of you again. So there you go. So who's ain't fucking? Who ain't fucking? Well, Rob and Sophie ain't fucking. They're not staying in the same room. Obviously, we talked about Angela already. She said, maybe we all need to use our vibrators. That was a funny line. That was a good line. So, yes, we do talk to Ed and Liz. I'm going to go through this really quickly. We're rehashing all of the shit. But people obviously kind of come for him in this moment. Ashley in particular, because I expect nothing less. She comes after him. We are going to see Lauren's going to come after Ed in the next episode. So I'm here for that too. And he's just kind of, this woe is me type mentality, and it's whatever. But the best thing here was when her mom kind of comes out and they talk about kind of what happened. And when she's able to kind of give her last thing here, because the thing that kind of kept coming up in this was Ed saying that her mom said that, she is manipulative or she's emotionally unstable was the thing that he claimed her mom said. When her mom says that, no, I said that she can be high maintenance. I mean, I don't know why you would ever say that about your daughter in the first place, but I do believe her mom said that she can be emotionally unstable. I do believe she said that just based on her reaction. She looked guilty as fuck and was like yelling at him or whatever. Like, I don't care if you yell at him, whatever. But yeah, it just kind of shows me that she did say that to him, and that's not cool. But yeah, the kind of the final remark that she's able to kind of say to Ed is, "You're going to purgatory hell. Okay, you're going to purgatory hell." I feel like when I learned this in religion class, that we have hell, we have purgatory, then we have heaven. They're 3 different things. So I don't think you can go to purgatory hell because I don't think that exists. So anyways, we also do meet her boyfriend, which was really good. She looked happy. She said the sex was great because she doesn't fake it. And the reason this question was brought up was because when we see an extended moment from the show that we didn't see the full moment, my girl literally says his penis is small. I mean, I wasn't questioning whether or not his penis was big. Like, come on, there's no fucking way that guy has a big dick. There's just no way. I'm sorry. It would be average at best. So, anyway. So, yeah, that's basically it for that half. We are going to take a break here. When we come back, we will jump in with Jasmine and Gino. There's obviously a full recap there. But yeah, when we come back, we'll talk about that. And I am back. So let's talk Gino and Jasmine quickly, and then we will be done the episode. So she says that she does love him, but does question whether or not he loves her. He claims he does love her. I don't know how you treat someone this way and say you love them, but anyways, she feels controlled by him, which she's definitely mentioned before, but he, he denies all of that, which again, we can expect him to do that. She feels like a nobody in the country at the moment because she doesn't have her status. And she actually just recently did get she said that she wanted to get her driver's license, but had to kind of do it herself because he wasn't kind of doing it. And of course, he's like, well, I had to do the research, I had to have the proper equipment. So he didn't, and I guess maybe have the urgency to do the driver's license in the same way that maybe she did. But she did pass the driver's license. So congratulations to Jasmine for passing on her driver's license. But he also, again, denies that he didn't help. And then the question kind of comes, have you filed for her adjustment of status yet? He does say that yes, he has. So that at least is done. And basically the next step is that she'll get her work authorization and then eventually the green card. But she doesn't say thank you, he says, which I guess what you can say is, I hate the term thank you. You can say, I appreciate you doing all of this. Oh, no, appreciate. I don't like that either. I don't know. I can understand just saying thank you generally for doing all you do, but at the same time, I understand where she's coming from of why do I have to say thank you? You know, I was okay in my country. It kind of feels like that as the American, you deserve a thank you. And I do understand what she's saying there. And what I did love here is that Ashley says, listen, yes, as Americans, we do agree to do this process, but it is a lot of work. And I can understand that as well. I have not the American sense, it seems like there's a lot of different steps that here in Canada we don't do. And then again, we don't have the K1 visa process. We have other visas, but I get it. It takes a long time to do this paperwork. And then when you do the paperwork and you go through that, you find out there's more that needs to be done. It's so much involved. And I do understand that from that perspective. But then I also understand that I don't need a thank you. I did it because I love you. That's what I think Jasmine is trying to say. Lauren says, listen, the first thing you should have done is the paperwork so that she can feel like she's a someone here. But Gino, of course, I wasn't going to do that because our relationship wasn't good. But it shouldn't have to be based on that. Because the next thing that's kind of said here, and I think it's kind of both Lauren and Ashley saying this, is then you shouldn't have brought her here. You shouldn't have brought her here. That way you can't then bring her here, say the relationship isn't good, and then hold that over her head for the reason why you're not going to do the visa. That's just not how this works, or do the adjustment status. This is not how it works. So we have Dana and Michelle here now to kind of talk about their perspective of things. Dana says that Jasmine communicates well, although Gino does say, no. But what do you mean? Because although you may not like necessarily how she communicates everything she says, in the last, say, 7 or so shows of their storyline, was her trying to communicate better? Was her trying not to yell at you or freak out at you? And she was admitting that, yes, those are issues that I have to deal with. She was doing those things, and yet that still wasn't enough for you. So what do you mean she isn't communicating? She is communicating with you on where she's at and how she's feeling about things. You just don't like what she's saying. There's a difference. So he says, no, she doesn't communicate her issues well. And Dana, which is so good, he's like, do you think you're a good communicator? The answer is no, sir, no. Dana didn't say that. I did. But Dana says, do you think maybe it's more because you have your viewpoint and you think she needs to align with that? Yes, Dana. I like Dana. I didn't like you initially, but I like you. I do like you, Dana. And Michelle. He's like, no, I'm open. No, you're not. You're not open. I don't know you, and I can tell you're not. And Jasmine says as much. No, you're stubborn. And Jasmine is too. I'm not saying she's not. But Jasmine can at least say what her issues are, and she knows she can be a lot. Gino acts like he doesn't have any issues. That's the problem. So Michelle feels that he kind of won't offer to do things for her, which kind of makes, I guess, her feel like she shouldn't ask, that she should just kind of figure it out for herself. And she says that she'll do things on her own because, she has to. He says that he will offer to drive, but she always says no because she doesn't want to rely on you. She doesn't want that to be another thing that you can throw in her face as to what you do for her, because you have basically done Sarper style, tallied up in a notebook or something of all the things that you do for her and then throw it in her face. That's just not That's not how relationships work. So the gym, for example, is about 10 minutes away, although Gino will have something to say about that too and say it's 15 minutes away. And that's not that far. You can't do 10 minutes here and 10 minutes back. You know, like, you're not working. What else are you doing? So Jasmine says that she'll sometimes take herself, like an Uber, or otherwise he'll just hold it over her head, like I mentioned. He is still not working, like I mentioned as well, so what do you do? And she says he watches American football. So, but football season at that point is now over. And it's still over. So, like, it hasn't started yet. What's your excuse now? That football is now over. What's your excuse? Anyway, he says, no, I was dealing with the paperwork for 7 months. 7 months you've been dealing with paperwork? Come on. Try again. So Michelle says, how about starting fresh from today and just kind of go from there? But he refuses to do that because no, we can't forget about that. The problems. And maybe, yes, they are still there, but maybe what she's trying to say is not pretend like those things don't exist. Talk them out like adults. Basically have a ceasefire with everything and start over. That's what Michelle was saying. You took it so fucking literally. Are you incapable of having a conversation with her about things so you can create a ceasefire? I don't understand. But yeah, he says like the issues affect their sex life, which we know. And we find out here, because I think Sean asks, how long has it been since you guys have had sex? 8 months. Haven't they basically, the last time they probably had sex was in the tent with this toe sucking. Or better yet, I'm going to say this, probably from the time she decided that she didn't want to get pregnant for him was probably around the time that they stopped having sex. And then when she told him how she kind of felt with everything, he probably held it against her. I'm telling you right now, the reason he probably does not have sex with her, at least the root cause of the reason why he will not have sex with her, is because she doesn't want to get pregnant for him right now. Until her kids get here. That's where this all comes from. Because that's ridiculous. But of course, he denies that. It's been 8 months. He says it's probably been about 4 to 5 months. And someone to say, how is that any better? It's not any better. Like, you shouldn't be going 4 to 5 months without having sex with your partner for whom you live with. No, that's weird. And Dana says, my guy, have you not heard of makeup sex? Makeup sex can make things a lot better. Or at least can break the ice so that you guys can have a conversation. And he's like, no, I don't do that. And Patrick says, clearly. Like, it's very clear that you don't do that. And I'm not sure Patrick said that. I think someone definitely said clearly. But Patrick is the one that says, bro, bang your wife. Like, come on. And basically someone says like, are you ever going to figure this out? Or like, are you going to break the cycle? Because nothing is going to change if you can't break the cycle. Jasmine says, I will apologize for my words, but he won't accept that. So there's really nothing that Jasmine can do or say that is going to change where he's at. It's not going to change. She says she'll try to be affectionate with him and he'll refuse that. So he's basically rejecting her. And it kind of gets to a point where you just don't want to keep going, right? But then she says, I have also never seen him completely naked. I'm sorry, what? Apparently of course, he denies that. And Rob's been really good with the take so far until this one where he says, well, he feels emasculated. Shut up, Rob. But yeah, she's like, she's never seen completely naked. And Lauren says, I don't think you realize that you might be contributing to the problems. You're right, Lauren. He doesn't. And you know what? Even with you saying it, it's still not going to help him realize that he's contributing to the problems. Because all he wants to do is, he's like, I'm not trying to blame her, but he is blaming her. Like, come on. He says that she starts all the fights. So yeah, we hear about the never seeing him fully naked. To go back to that really quickly, she says that she, like, when they have sex, he'll be kind of dressed or whatever, and then the lights will go out when the dick comes out, basically. She's never seen him, like, naked. And yeah, that's weird. That's weird. You kidding? I'll walk around my boyfriend naked. I don't care. I've seen him fully naked. That's weird. So weird. But then we kind of get to the porn conversation because we see the clip and everything. And kind of the question is, like, how many times have you kind of caught him watching porn? And she says more than I'd like to say. She says she also has to be careful when she comes back into the house, just in case he's watching porn or other things. And she says, you'll never guess what my last discovery was of, like, what he was watching. And it only happened about a few weeks ago. And she explains, listen, he was kind of into the sugar baby thing and whatever. And one of his ex-girlfriends, I guess, has done porn videos. And he basically searched for her in order to watch her porn videos. What the actual fuck? No. Listen, I would cut the last patch of hair in the middle of the night. I'm not kidding you. Are you fucking kidding me? No. She literally says, and I agree with her, of all the porn in the world, your ex? What the fuck is happening here? This is so fucked. This is so fucked. But that's basically where we end. We end with that cliffhanger. And next week, we're getting more Jasmine and Gino. We're getting Kobe and Emily. We see Lauren coming for Ed. Love it. And then we kind of go back to the house. Everyone goes back to the house. And of course, we're going to have more bullshit with Angela. So that's basically where we're going to end off here. We'll see how the format of the episode goes for the next episode in terms of how we're going to cover it and everything. I'm hoping that I can get Letitia on that episode. And I'm kind of ahead here. You are getting Toe tomorrow, where you'll hear from Letitia, and we do talk about that. So we'll probably try to get her on that episode. We're trying to avoid any conversation of Ed and Liz and Angela and Michael because we can't handle either of them. So as long as we don't have if we're not going through Angela and Michael's story, we probably can have her on that episode. So we'll figure all of that out. But other than that, the next episodes can expect to get tomorrow is Toe, as well as 90 Day UK. And you'll get those. We'll figure out Bachelorette. Bachelorette might come out Monday prior to the episode coming out. We'll see. But we'll see how that goes. But with that said, that is it for this episode. So if you like what you heard, please rate, review the podcast on either Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Also, don't forget that you can also share us with everyone in your life if you really love this. And I do want to read those reviews. I'm definitely getting 5-star ratings, but I want to read those reviews. So send me those reviews and I will read those 4 and 5-star reviews on the podcast. Also, we're on every one of your favorite podcast apps, every one of them, including you can find us on YouTube at Reality Tea X2. If you want to connect with us, you can do so by going to either Facebook or Instagram at Reality Tea X2. You can also find us on Twitter, TikTok, Reddit at Reality Tea X2 Pod. We also have our email, which is at realityteatimes2@hotmail.com. Definitely want to hear from you guys. And we also have our new website where you can listen to all of these episodes. You can review the podcast on there as well. You can connect with me in any way, all the stuff. It's all there, and you can find me there at www.realityteatimes2, all spelled out, .podpage.io. It's there. And don't forget, I also have my other podcast with my friend Mikkel, Next Week Podcast, where we talk about all kinds of different topics. But you can find us on any of your favorite podcast apps over there as well. Or you can also go to YouTube and you go to Next Take Podcast, as well as our website, which is solo.to/Next Take Podcast. So yeah, there's that, and that's basically that. And again, don't forget, if all of this information is overwhelming, we do have all of the links, everything in our show notes. But that is it for now, guys. Thanks. Bye.